What's up guys, it's your boy Rob Ray, and in today's video I want to talk to you about up and coming industries that we should consider starting businesses. And I think this video is very important and very critical to every elite millennial success. We need to be forward thinking and identifying where things are going in the economy, in certain industries, within certain sectors, and we should be looking for ways to capitalize on industry growth and industry trends. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about up and coming industries that we should be looking to start businesses in within the next decade. And hopefully after watching this video, you get motivated to start a business in one of these industries, and who knows, maybe you can become the next big industry player. But before we get into this video, if you're new to this channel, like this video, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you are an elite millennial going after your goals, seeking to be and will be the first multi-millionaire in your family. This is a channel that you want to subscribe to because I post all things business, all things finance, all things entrepreneurship, and all things legendary. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it. All right guys, the first up and coming industry that I think that we should be doing business in is renewable energy. Yes, renewable energy. And I want to list you guys the reasons why I think this industry will continue to grow at a rapid pace within the next 2 to 3 decades. Reason number 1, Biden administration promises to tame global warming. All right guys, and I got some notes here on my phone, so don't mind me if I look down. On January 20th, on his very first day in office, President Joe Biden signed the instrument to bring the United States back into the Paris Agreement. So for those of you who don't know what the Paris Agreement is, among 200 countries came together and basically made a pact to reduce carbon emissions, ultimately getting to net zero emissions by 2050. Now, each country that signed into this Paris Agreement have their own individual emission targets that are set to be reviewed every 5 years. Now, what was agreed upon in this Paris Agreement exactly was to reduce and limit global temperature increases to at least 1.5 degrees Celsius and to keep them well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial time. What was also agreed upon was to limit greenhouse gas emissions from human activity to the same level that trees, soil, and oceans can absorb. This is ultimately known as net zero emissions. So basically what they're agreeing to is to only produce carbon emissions that is equal to the amount that trees, soil, and oceans can absorb from the atmosphere, ultimately generating a net zero emission effect. Now, outside of President Biden putting the United States back into the Paris Agreement, he also pledges to make a $2 trillion investment in clean energy. Okay, $2 trillion investment in clean energy. In fact, in Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan, it literally states that Biden will make a $2 trillion accelerated investment with a plan to deploy those resources over his first term, setting us on an irreversible course to meet the ambitious climate progress that science demands. Now, within this Build Back Better Biden plan, he focuses on auto industries, speaking on building electric vehicle charging stations, public transit, providing every American city with 100,000 or more residents with high quality, zero emissions public transportation options, and also the construction of 1.5 million sustainable homes and housing units. Also, one of the goals in Biden's Build Back Better plan is fully decarbonizing the power sector by 2035 in order to achieve a larger goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050. And outside of the Biden administration's committed to net zero carbon emissions, we're also seeing declining cost and rising capacity and usage factors in renewable energy. According to ourworlddata.org, the price of onshore wind electricity has declined by 70% in the 10 years ranging from 2009 to 2019. Now, that is a pretty big percentage point in decline in cost relative to the price of generating electricity with coal, where the prices remain flat, only falling 2% in the past 10 years from 2009 to 2019. Also, the cost of generating electricity with gas has fallen only 32% from 2009 to 2019. Now, not to get too techie or any of that, I'm not like an expert in any of this, but I've done my due diligence. So electricity prices are expressed in levelized cost of energy. That acronym is LCOE, levelized cost of energy. And LCOE captures the cost of building a power plant itself, as well as the ongoing cost for fuel and operating the plant over its lifetime. So why do we see the cost of renewable LCOE declining at a very rapid pace relative to the cost of coal and gas LCOE? Well, the reason why is the cost of fossil fuels and nuclear power depend largely on two factors: the price of that fuel and the power plant's operating cost. Renewable energy plants are different. They don't have to pay for any fuel because their fuel is literally the wind and the sunlight. The only expenses that they really incur are the cost of the power plant and the cost of the technology itself. So my final thoughts on this, with the government's goal of the net zero carbon emissions by 2050, coupled with the declining cost of generating renewable energy, I am extremely bullish on the renewable energy sector and believe that there could be massive opportunity for entrepreneur-minded individuals to enter the space and provide goods and services and support the inevitable growth of the industry. And the last up-and-coming industry that I think we should be avidly pursuing to start businesses in is e-commerce. According to eMarketer.com, US consumers will spend roughly $933.3 billion on e-commerce in 2021. This is up 17.9% year over year, equaling 15.3% of all retail sales nationwide, and they're expecting this growth to continue. E-commerce sales will continue to grow at a healthy clip, reaching 23.6% of total retail sales by 2025 versus only 11% in 2019. My final thoughts on e-commerce is I think the trend of online shopping is literally just beginning, and in post-pandemic economy where many consumers have adapted to purchasing online, e-commerce will continue to capture market share of total retail sales. E-commerce also provides a low barrier to entry opportunity for young entrepreneurs to start businesses without needing an exorbitant amounts of capital to finance. No brick and mortar shop needed, only a website, some cash for online advertising, and maybe even inventory. So those are my top 2 industries that I think we should be avidly pursuing starting businesses in. Number 1, renewable energy, and number 2, e-commerce. I think these industries are very promising, and if we can develop an opportunity to, offer some type of product or some type of service within these industries, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. But comment below, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what industries that you're currently pursuing. Let me know what products and services in those industries that you're selling right now, and where you think that industry is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. But I truly am confident that the renewable energy sector, with all the federal regulation and the Biden infrastructure plan and all the things that are kind of acting as a catalyst for this industry, I think there's a lot of good things that come from that industry. And e-commerce, I just went through some of the statistics with you guys, is still growing, and eventually I think will capture a larger percentage of total retail sales market share. So those are the 2 industries that I think. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Your boy Rare, peace.